Many assume that Filipinas are drawn to foreigners purely for money. While financial security is a factor, just as it is for women everywhere, it's only part of the story. If I claimed foreigners choose Filipinas solely for sex, you'd likely disagree, and rightly so. The same logic applies in reverse. Money isn't the only reason many Filipinos prefer foreign partners, even older ones. So what gives foreigners an edge over local men? Surprisingly, you have secret advantages you may not even realize. And no, I'm not talking about size. That's just a bonus, but far from the main reason. Ever wondered what makes a beautiful young Filipina see you as more than just an ATM with a big size? Let's break it down. First, a quick reality check. Yes, not all Filipinos, foreigners, or local men fit these generalizations. But to have an honest discussion, we need to focus on common patterns, not exceptions. The truth? Not all Filipinas are into foreigners. Some prefer local men, others have families who disapprove, and some simply don't find Westerners attractive. Everyone has their preferences, and that's a good thing. If Filipinas were only after tall, successful professionals, they'd be competing with Western women. Fortunately for you, they're not. Sure, money plays a role. Let's be real. Financial security is attractive. But what women truly seek goes beyond wealth. It's about stability, emotional connection, and a sense of security in all aspects of life. And that's where foreign men often have an advantage. You might not realize it, but many of you provide security in ways that go beyond money. Take the most obvious example, your build. Foreigners are generally taller and bigger than local men. And let's be honest, having a strong guy by our side feels reassuring if trouble ever comes our way. Remember high school? Maybe you envied the tall, broad-shouldered guys who got all the attention, even if you were smarter or funnier. Well, over here, you are that guy. And if you're smart and funny too, that's a winning combination. And when there's a strange noise in the middle of the night, who do you think we'd feel safer with? But physical security is just one piece of the puzzle. One of your biggest strengths? Your mindset. Even foreigners who come here to retire are considered ambitious by local standards. While many locals take a come-what-may approach, you're different. You don't just wait for things to happen, you make them happen. You're always thinking ahead, finding ways to make tomorrow better than today. You believe in getting things done. You're always on the move, never lazy. It's simply who you are. And that drive? That's exactly what Filipinas find so attractive. To some, your nonstop energy might seem amusing. But as a woman, I find it irresistible. A man who's always looking ahead isn't just dreaming about the future, he's building it. And that's a rare quality worth admiring. One of your biggest attractions? Your worldliness. Even if you haven't traveled much, you've been exposed to ideas, cultures, and knowledge that many of us haven't, making you fascinating to talk to. For educated or naturally curious Filipinas, being with a foreigner can feel like stepping out of a small, familiar world into something much bigger. Local conversations often revolve around food, work, and daily life, rarely straying beyond our neighborhoods. While comforting, it's not always stimulating. But Westerners, you see the bigger picture. You understand how the world works and can talk about anything from geopolitics to philosophy. With you, every conversation feels like an adventure. It's not just what you say, it's how you handle life. Confidence, competence, and problem solving? That's undeniably attractive. In emergencies, many locals freeze, but a Westerner? He takes charge, acts fast, and knows what to do. That's real security. Financially, you're smart, saving, avoiding debt, even teaching us how to manage money. Meanwhile, some local guys spend recklessly, even borrowing just to buy another drink. You're independent. You handle your own problems, unlike many here who still rely on their moms. Not exactly a turn-on. And when something breaks, you fix it the right way, not with a makeshift patch job. While others settle for good enough, you aim for done right. The bottom line? A man who takes care of business makes a woman feel safe. And that's what truly matters. Also, Western men show they care, not just with grand gestures, but through the little things that truly matter. You notice when we're in pain? Ask what's wrong. And before we know it, you're handing us aspirin, fluffing a pillow, and making sure we rest. You don't just listen, you take action. Some might call that soft, but nothing is more attractive than a strong, capable man who also cares. That kind of attentiveness makes us feel truly cherished and protected. And for a Filipina, maturity equals security. It means you're stable, dependable, and not the type to wake up one day, have a midlife crisis, and run off with the maid. Western women might call it predictable. To us, it's exactly what we want. So far, I focused on how you make us feel secure, but there's more to our attraction than that. Here's something you might not have considered. You don't come with family baggage. When a Filipina marries a local man, she often has to take on his entire family, meddling in-laws, constant obligations, and financial responsibilities. But with a Westerner, it's like finding a Filipina with no family drama, no overbearing mother-in-law, no nosy relatives dictating our lives. Even if you have family back home, it's nothing like dealing with one that lives right next door. Filipino men are often deeply tied to their moms, making it feel like we have two sets of parents to please. With you, there's freedom, less pressure, fewer expectations. And beyond security and independence, there's something even better. You're exciting to be with. Your mindset, your experiences, your outlook on life, it's refreshing. Being with you isn't just about stability. It's an adventure. Western men often have a great sense of humor. Sure, we don't always get your jokes, but laughter's always attractive. Even sarcasm takes intelligence, and intelligence is sexy. You're also fair. You can admit when you're wrong, unlike many local men whose instinct is to shift blame and save face, no matter how obvious the truth is. Being with someone who values personal responsibility is refreshing. It makes us more open and honest too. And when it comes to loyalty, yes, there are foreign players, but they're easy to spot, just like we recognize Filipina bad apples. The truth is, most of you aren't here for a fling. You're at a stage where you want something real, a loving, devoted partner who checks all your boxes. Meanwhile, too many local men abandon pregnant partners, cheat without guilt, or treat relationships as disposable. Do Western guys cheat? Of course, but the kind who settle here long-term? They're usually too happy and too occupied with their Filipina to even think about it. Trust me, we know how to keep our men satisfied. Western men have a reputation for being more faithful than local guys, giving you a real edge. Many Filipinas have felt the sting of a local man saying all the right things, making promises, then running off as someone else. I know some foreigners cheat, but not nearly as often. And yes, we find you attractive. Your eyes, your nose, your hair, even your scent. You know how to dress, how to carry yourself. You stand out. Just like a Filipina turns heads in the West, you're exotic to us. The grass is always greener after all. Some will say Filipinas don't want old, broken-down men. But that's not how most of us see you. Here, maturity isn't just about looks. It's about wisdom, experience, and stability. And that's attractive. Dating a foreigner isn't just about money. It's about the full package. But if you still think otherwise, I won't argue. I'll just keep telling it like it is. That's it for today. I hope this gave you a fresh perspective. Now, what do you think? Let's talk. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.